Hi, so I just wanted to talk about a topic that I've actually been getting a lot of questions on Tumblr and Twitter and Gifboom. And it's all about bisexuality. I saw this picture on Tumblr about how bisexuals aren't real because they just need to choose who they like. They can't like both sexes. And I reblogged it and I was like, this is bullcrap. And then I started getting messages, and people on my Twitter and my Gifboom found out that I was bisexual, and they started messaging me. So I decided to make a YouTube video talking about it. So, people literally think that you have to like one or the other. You can't like both. You obviously can't. But that doesn't make any sense because there's different types of people also. There's the good guys and the bad guys. There's, like jocks and nerds and punk people, as skaters. There's different kinds of people. And I mean, most people don't just like one kind of person. I mean, you could, but most people don't just like one kind of person. They like to... If they like a person, they like a person. And I've also gotten a lot of opinions from both straights and gays. And from the straights, I've either gotten they don't care who you like, they don't care who you date because, it's your life. It's not affecting them. And then you also have the ones that are against the gays, and they're like, okay, you're okay for the fact that you like the opposite sex, but if you like the same sex, there's something completely wrong with that, because you might want to get married to them. Then there's gays who don't care because they're like, we welcome you to our community because we don't see anything wrong with it. But then there are the gays that actually think that they're like being backstabbed, basically. Because we're a part of one community, but we're also part of the other. And if we're a part of the other, we're obviously backstabbing them because we might turn our backs and get married to the opposite sex. But it's okay if we get married to the same sex and fight for that right. And they just don't understand that it's you're able to like two sexes. You don't have to just limit yourself to one sex. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't understand how people can like only one sex. I really don't. Because there's so many people. And who cares about, what's on their chest, what's in between their legs. And people just don't understand, so they just don't think that anyone is able to think that way and live their life that way and label themselves as that. And that's another thing, labeling yourself. High school is a time to figure out who you are, what you want to do in life, where you want to go. And it's also a good time to find out your sexuality, the kind of person you are, who you like to be surrounded by. And people think that just because, you make out, like, if you're a girl, and you make out with girls, but you don't date them, but you date guys, that you're not a bisexual. But if you think about it, gays are attracted to the same sex. They find them attractive. They look at them and if they see an attractive person in their point of view, they're like, wow, they're attractive. I'm attracted to them. Same with the straight people, just with opposite sex. Now we might be able to easily date guys because it's harder to find. It might be easier to date the opposite sex because it's easier to find straights than it is to find gays because sometimes people don't want to come out or you just live in a community where there aren't any gays. And so, I mean, and people become bi-curious, and then they make out with you, and stuff like that happens. But if you don't date the same sex and the opposite sex, then obviously you're not bisexual. I mean, obviously, right? And there are bi-curious people. They're just confused about their sexuality. They're trying to find if they belong in that place that they're trying to see if they do, like, if that makes sense. But being bi-curious doesn't necessarily mean that you're bisexual until you realize that you actually have feelings for someone and you could see yourself living your whole life with them. And people also think that once you get married, that's that. That's the sex you prefer more. That's the sex that you like. That you're either straight or you're gay at that point on. But you can marry a man and still be attracted to women at the exact same time. And you can marry a woman and still be attracted to men at the exact same time. But you might prefer a sex over a sex. Like, I prefer girls over guys. I prefer girls over guys because I could see myself having sex with a girl, but I can't really see myself having sex with a guy. But I would date both. I really would. I would date both because, but I prefer to date a girl more than I do a guy, but that's my opinion, and if someone else prefers guys over girls, that doesn't mean that they are just one sexuality, just confused and just making up excuses to make everyone else be confused. And you know, just because you like one sex doesn't mean you can't like the other. It doesn't make sense to me that people actually think that. And when you're with someone, do like gay and straight people, they find other people attractive after they date or marry another person. So that doesn't mean they're limited to just that one person. I don't know. This is just my opinion, and if you have any of your opinions, you can message me on Tumblr, on Twitter, or on Gifboom, and I will leave all of my stuff down there. And yeah.